Hey, thanks for joining me for another episode of Football Scientific, the podcast. It's backwards. That's my special effects. It's getting better. Today, I'd like to talk about indoor football, the shady, seedy world of indoor football. Earlier today, I was really thinking about the different leagues of arena football, indoor football indoors, whatever you want to call it. And I said to myself, why are there so many indoor football leagues? Well, I would say because most are a money grab. Most of the leagues only exist to make some money. I will say, today we're going to talk about those indoor football leagues. There's 5 of them we're going to talk about. There's 5 what I would consider substantial organized leagues. The IFL, the NAL, the Arena League, AF1, it hurts to call them organized, and AIF, which is the weirdest of all of them. So today we're going to dig in and talk about each of these leagues and what I think about them. Now, I do cover the Indoor Football League as a warning. I do like the Indoor Football League. And I guess that's my barometer for how good the other leagues are. Are the leagues good enough to compete with the IFL? And earlier today, it was hard for me to conceptualize. How do I conceptualize whether an indoor football league is worthy of me investing my time to watch it? They're all indoors. Some of them have nets. Some of them have 2 linebackers. Some have 1 linebacker. They all have walls. Some are in Wisconsin. Some are everywhere. Some are nowhere. Someone's horn is beeping. Oh well. So I was thinking, how do I conceptualize these football leagues and how good they are or how bad they are? Either way, I didn't kind of sat quietly for a little while and I thought about it. How do I conceptualize the quality of these leagues? And I thought about something I really enjoy. What I really enjoy is playing Retro Bowl. Okay? Now it's backwards. I don't mind. I enjoy playing in Retro Bowl. And based on how engaged I am in something, I may play more or less Retro Bowl. If something is engaging, okay, I do not play any Retro Bowl. Coaching, teaching chemistry, working, taking a walk, I don't play Retro Bowl. Driving, that's important to note. I don't play Retro Bowl when I drive. You shouldn't do that. But a lot of other times, I do play Retro Bowl, like during the Super Bowl. Chiefs and Eagles. Wow. I spend about 90% of the game playing Retro Bowl. Because who cares? It's the Chiefs and Eagles. No one cares about that. I guess Chiefs and Eagles fans do. It's fun to boo Taylor Swift, I guess. So, on my scale, I'm going to rank these leagues based on how engaged I feel when I watch them or don't watch them. And 0% means I'm fully engaged. It's the Retro Bowl scale. It's backwards. I don't care. 50% means, half the time I play the Retro Bowl, and 100% means I'm just playing Retro Bowl. The game might be on, it might not be on. I wouldn't know the difference because I'm playing Retro Bowl and just playing Retro Bowl. Another example, when I watch TV, I play Retro Bowl. Shows are just kind of boring, I enjoy quantum physics. I don't play any Retro Bowl when I'm thinking about quantum physics. Or do I? Maybe when I observe Retro Bowl, I'm doing quantum physics. Interesting thought. Things may not exist unless I observe them. Is that true for indoor football leagues? No. No, there's plenty of indoor football leagues I have not observed. Beep. 100% Retro Bowl. We're going to talk about those leagues today. Now, Before I talk about those leagues, I want to clarify. There's way more than 5 indoor football leagues. There's only 5 I care about. When to say I care about them is a relative term. A lot of indoor football leagues, other than these 5, are semi-pro football. They may pay someone some money, but not very much. And they probably have to pay for their own housing and stuff. So it's semi-pro. Once again, no offense to semi-pro football. The Indy Bison in Indianapolis are semi-pro football. I played semi-pro football in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I coached semi-pro football in Bloomington, Indiana. It was a great time. But it wasn't that entertaining if you weren't playing or coaching. And we didn't get a lot of people. A lot of these indoor football leagues are just like that. Ha-ha! A+. Okay. All right. So, I'm going to start with the best indoor football league. It's called the Indoor Football League. Yes, the IFL. The IFL filled the space left by the original Arena Football League. Back in the 80s, when I was a child, at midnight on tape delay, you could watch the Arena Football League on ESPN. And it was amazingly fun to watch. Amazingly fun to watch. The Miami Hooters, the Tampa Bay Storm, the Orlando Predators. Wow. There are some other teams. I don't remember their names. It's been a while. Eventually, the Iowa Barnstormers became a part of that. Kurt Warner became a part of that. The original Arena Football League was really cool because you had a lot of quarterbacks go to the NFL. That's no longer the state of the Indoor Football League or any arena league. The Indoor Football League is different from the Arena Football League. It's its own animal, which is good. The Arena Football League, which we'll talk about in a little bit, has had 5 different failed versions. Well, 4 different failed versions. I'm counting this year as the next failed version. It's a bad sign. But the Indoor Football League, which originally was 2 different leagues, became one. And it's now the top indoor football league. Hence, it's called the Indoor Football League and not an Arena Football League or an Indoor Football League. It's the Indoor Football League. Okay? They run the ball a lot. They have 1 linebacker. The linebacker's got to be 7 yards off the ball, roughly, out of the belt. He blitzes all the time. It's man-to-man coverage. Dual threat quarterbacks rule the day. It's a 50-yard field with a wall around it. Sometimes it doesn't have a wall all the way around it, but no one cares because it's still fun to watch. There's no nets, but there is a deuce. That's not poop. A deuce means you kick the ball off and it goes to the goalpost and you get 2 points. That's pretty good. It swings the game sometimes. It makes a difference. If you're down by 9 points, you can score a touchdown and you can get an extra point and you can kick a deuce and you'll tie the game. That's pretty cool. I like it. The Indoor Football League also streams on YouTube for free, except for the championship game, which they put on CBS Sports Channel. I watch it on YouTube afterwards. I don't have cable. I'm not going to have cable. Cable is a scam. No offense to cable. Okay, so the Indoor Football League. The greatest arena-style football league in our country right now. It owns the southwest corner, Arizona, California. It owns several places in the United States. Fishers, Indiana, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Massachusetts. It's all over the place. Later videos, I'm going to go into detail about the IFL. That's not what this is. This is not describing the IFL. This is describing how interesting the IFL is. So what piques my interest? Well, the teams are the same every year. And then sometimes they're not. 4 teams are gone. The Dakota Bucks, Frisco Fighters, the Sioux Falls Storm. I didn't look at anyone. I just turned my head. And the Duke City Gladiators. Frisco Fighters are really good, but their ownership didn't turn out well. I don't want to go into details. Sioux Falls Storm, 20 years of indoor football, have an arena issue. That's sad. But there's more teams. The Arizona Rattlers, the Jacksonville Sharks, the Vegas Nighthawks. They are awesome. I enjoy watching it a lot. The Bay Area Panthers. On a Retro Bowl scale, the IFL gets a 0. That means when I watch the IFL, I'm completely invested in the IFL. No Retro Bowl. The Retro Bowl streams for free on YouTube. IFL Network. It's awesome to watch. You should check it out. I never play Retro Bowl when I watch the IFL. The next league is kind of like the IFL, but different. Because it's not been around as long. It's only been around 18 years. The IFL's been around they're starting their 17th season. The NAL is the next league, and they're starting their National Arena League. And they're starting their 8th season. NAL. And they have a collection of teams. Carolina Cobras, Idaho Horsemen, Omaha Beef. Kind of have cool names. Kind of have cool uniforms. I like that in an arena football league. Most teams exist every year. I like that in an arena football league. But some teams don't last. It's a tough business. It's a shady business. Some places start a team and cannot continue it. But in the NAL, most teams finish their season, which is nice. And a lot of those teams come back for a second season. That's double nice. If I'm going to be a fan of a league, I want the team I like to come back every year. I think I like the Shreveport Rougarou because it's fun to say Rougarou in the NAL. It's also a national league. It's got 2 divisions. The IFL has 2 divisions, East and West. The NAL has 2 divisions, National and American. 4 teams in the NAL have won championships in indoor football. The Columbus Lions, the greatest AIF team of all time, are now in the NAL. Should be a fun watch. They're also streamed on YouTube for free. I like free a lot. That's my favorite price for arena football. Free. Okay. On the Retro Bowl scale, they get a 40%. 40% of the time, I play Retro Bowl during an NAL game because it has a lot of downtime. I don't know why. Because they score a lot. That's cool. Because it's a good thing. I did notice when I watched the game last week, they didn't show the score though. That was confusing because I stopped watching and had dinner and came back and watched the game. I didn't know what the score was. The IFL tells you what the score is. It's awesome. They have a scoreboard. NAL, I don't know if they have a scoreboard. I haven't seen one. But 60% of the time I like to watch the NAL. 40% I play Retro Bowl. Pretty fun. It's backwards. I don't care. I'll get better. Maybe. Next we have a league called the Arena League. Arena League. Last year was the first year for the Arena League. Unlike the IFL and NAL, it's not a national league. It's a regional league in Wisconsin and Missouri and Arkansas, right in the Midwest. I think that's a good business plan. To be a national league, you have to pay for travel and food and hotels and transportation. That's a lot of money. That's why a lot of indoor football leagues fail, because they can't afford their own bills. The Arena League, smaller than that. and has less players. It was a 6-on-6 league last year. Tim Brown is the founder of it, former receiver for the Raiders and Notre Dame. He made the league. I guess that's mainly Wisconsin, also Kansas City and Arkansas. Kind of a weird mix, but it works. They use small arenas. This year, I've heard, they're going to be 7-on-7, which should be interesting. I probably won't watch a lot of the Arena League. I don't know where to see it. It exists somewhere. I don't know where to find it. If I find it, I'll watch it. 10% of the time. 10%. The other 90%, I'll be playing Retro Bowl while watching the Arena League. Sounds like a cool league, but I don't know where to find it. They haven't publicized it well. And 7-on-7 seemed kind of boring to me. At least they're going to hit each other and not use flags. The Arena League. Next is an unpleasant topic. I mentioned at the beginning of this, or sometime around there, that I first really fell in love with indoor football as a child. ESPN, tape delay games at midnight, Miami Hooters, Tampa Bay Storm, Orlando Predators, Jay Gruden. It was cool. It was different. It was original. It eventually got NBC. It eventually had multiple video games. It eventually had Kurt Warner win a Super Bowl with the Rams. A movie was made about it. Jeff Garcia played for the New York Dragons. Moved on to the 49ers. Pretty cool. That was the original Arena Football League. It was awesome. And it was the only Arena Football League that existed at the time. The rest didn't exist. It was it. But then it failed. Because some new people took it over. They added some more teams. The New Orleans Voodoo. That's cool. The Jacksonville Sharks. They're in the IFL. They're pretty good. They won like the most NAL championships. But eventually they failed. Goodbye, Arena Football. But not so fast, my friend. Because they came back with 4 teams. The Philadelphia Soul, owned by Ron Jaworski and John Bon Jovi. Maybe not at that time, but they came back with 4 teams. 3 teams owned by the same people. They didn't compete well against each other. It seemed like maybe they had a conflict of interest. It was on a channel. I don't remember the channel. It was... the Philadelphia Soul won every game, unless the other teams played each other. The Washington Valor. I think the last year of that version, the Washington Valor won the league. I don't know. I think I quit paying attention after a while. We call that Arena Football 2.0. Okay. Arena Football 3.0 came around sometime, maybe before that, where the Sharks came in. I don't remember. It's been a while. Either way, it doesn't exist anymore. Then last year was the Arena Football League 4.0. If you get the 4.0, the league should have died. It's a zombie league. It should have died. But they won't let it die. They won't let it die. Last year, most of the teams folded. I predicted they wouldn't finish the season. They did finish the season. But they played their championship game in a mall in New Jersey. Yikes. I had 2 good teams, the Albany Firebirds and the Billings Outlaws, I think. They played in the championship game. The Orlando Predators are still in it. I like them. They have cool uniforms. Jay Gruden played for them. John Gruden's brother. Oh well, that league is gone. Arena Football League 4.0 is gone. Goodbye. So why am I still talking about it? Because now Arena Football 5.0 is now AF1. Awful Football 1. I don't know if it's awful or not. But they've already had 4 teams fold since they started the league this year. Yikes. 4 teams fold before you start the season. 1 team doesn't have a lease for its arena. Arizona Bandits. There's already a bunch of teams in Arizona IFL. Why do you need an AF1 team there? Because they have nets. Nets are expensive. National travel is expensive. This league goes from West Coast to East Coast, Albany to Arizona to Washington. How's a league with no fans going to pay for travel? Going to pay for its players? Going to pay for its coaches? Last year, it didn't. It didn't do those things. Sometimes teams didn't show up, so they got a semi-pro team to stand in for the other team and beat the other team. That's weird. They finished the season with a championship game at them all. Kind of cool. I didn't watch it. I'm not going to watch the Arena Football League because on the Retro Bowl scale, it gets a 100. Meaning 100% of the time, I'd rather play Retro Bowl than watch AF1. That's gross. I mentioned poop in the IFL. There's no poop when they take a deuce. It's a deuce. But the AF1 is a lot of poop, man. It's a lot of poop. No AF1 for me. It's going to stream on the Evergreen Network. It's an app. It was supposed to be on the NFL Network, but NFL gave up on it. They thought it would be cool, but then they found out it's not cool, bro. It's not cool. I'm supposed to say it's not cool, chat. Okay, chat, it's not cool. Goodbye, AF1. And then the last league I'll mention today. Is it a league? It's hard to say. Here's a little backstory. There's a team called the Western Michigan Ironmen. They play in Western Michigan. And they played in this Great Lakes Indoor Football League. And they destroyed teams 75-7. They won the championship against the Cedar Rapids River Kings. 55-0. 55-0 in arena football? Who's going to watch that? Not I. Why is that team only playing bad teams? Because they might be a bad team. I have first-hand knowledge. They have a lot of semi-pro players. They could be a semi-pro team. They should play someone for real. They should play a good team. They should play the AF1. No one's going to watch it, but maybe they'll show that they're better than a semi-pro team. But they didn't do that. They decided to go to a league called the AIF. AIF was thought to be dead. The Columbus Lions, who are now in the NAL, dominated the AIF. So much so, they closed the league. They said, nope, sorry, Columbus Lions, you get no more championships. We're ending the league. Well, it's back. Sort of. It has 3 teams. What? 3 teams? What kind of league has 3 teams? The Western Michigan Ironmen are one of those teams. Okay, now they're going to play someone. They're going to play the Cedar Rapids River Kings. They beat them 55-0 in the championship game. Who cares? There's only 3 teams. I'm throwing my scripts out of the way. I'm not using them anyway. There's also a team called the Coralville Chaos. That sounds chaotic. Who else will the Western Michigan Ironman play? It's not on their schedule. There's a bunch of bye weeks. They have a 15-week season or something like that. And there's a ton of bye weeks. Why would I go watch that? Because I got too much money? No, that's not true. I don't have too much money. So, AIF. 3 teams. I guess one's going to win a championship unless they don't finish. It'll probably be the Western Michigan Ironmen. They'll win another championship. 85-0. No one will care. I mentioned the Birmingham Stallions being a 3-peat in spring football yesterday. Why don't people wear Birmingham Stallions shirts? Because all they've done is show the rest of the league and the UFL is mediocre. Someone's got to step up and end that. Otherwise that league's going to die. Like the AIF should have done. But it came back to life. It's like the AF1. It's a zombie. On the Retro Bowl scale, 100. No, 1,000. It broke the scale. I'm not watching the AIF. I don't know where to find it. I'm not going to look for it. I got a feed of the Western Michigan Ironmen. All their games are 70-point blowouts. I'm not sure why I would watch that. I don't think it would be fun to watch. It's like watching adults beat up children. That's not cool. You should stop that. Oh well. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Football Scientific, the podcast. If you like something, you should let me know. But maybe no one's watching, and that's probably cool. Because no pressure. I'm just having some fun. I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about something else. I think I made some UFL power rankings today. So I think tomorrow I'll talk about the UFL power rankings. They're going to training camp next week. Coaches are showing up at the end of this week. Should be a fun time. I really like the UFL. I hope the Brahmas can become the anti-Birmingham Stallions and keep the league alive. Let's go Brahmas. Let's go IFL. Let's go NAL. Boo to the AF1. Yuck. Boo to AIF. Why? Why are we doing that? I don't know. Have a good day. See you tomorrow. Bye.